try and find something more constructive to say about R and about the problem. If you're writing a package to deal with statistical analysis and large amounts of data, you need to abstract away from the concrete representations of these things. So your data could be in a database, it could be in multiple databases, or comma separated value CSV files on a 360K floppy disk, or comma separated value files on one of those Perspex floppy disk containers with 150. Remember those long things you used to get with 5 1/4 inch floppies all lining up on them? So imagine 250 of those, and there are data sets like that. Apparently they're all rotting now because that media does not last this long. The magnetic material is starting to decompose. But you've got a lot of different ways of storing that data that you want to analyze. And your command line package should sit above your command line interface to this, your programmatic stroke command interface to this data should sit above the concrete representation. So even if the data is coming in real time from a microphone connected to the computer, or from a tiny audio workbench type setup where it's being synthesized and recorded, that's the kind of level that you need to operate at, closer to what's it called, that National Instruments thing I was talking about yesterday. But there's a tendency to, once you've created concrete infrastructure and a whole worldwide network of FTP sites for distributing your packages and all of that, you're in a kind of world, and you're in a concrete world. You cannot move because of these concretions of your own making. So what's the way out of it? Well, I think it's to the valuable stuff are the algorithms and techniques you've developed to handle that data, not the actual source code. So design domain-specific languages to express those algorithms, and then build interpreters for your domain-specific languages that will allow you to quickly compose elements, so that if you, I can't even remember the name. What was the name of that National Instruments package? What's it called? LabVIEW. So that, for example, you can basically take your systems that you developed in R for analyzing matrices and processing them and abstracting information from the data, and combine them with other types of programmatic interface that maybe you've never even thought of using before. But then you won't have something that you own. That was the sense that I had about Richard Stallman's problem, was that he was sitting on a mountain of intellectual assets, and that he got the GNU Free Software Foundation to the point where it was getting income of a few $1 million a year, and so you need some basis on which to hold that, and his basis for which to hold on to that empire was a lot of laws and relationships he has with lawyers and whatnot, and software developers. But it's not very interesting from the point of view of programming. If you can't move, you can't change the way you do things. You're sitting on Cruft of the most unbelievable I don't know if Cruft has magnitude. Cruft is more like a percentage. And in software at the moment, it's 99% Cruft. 1% of it is actually worth knowing. Just accept it and move on, and think about a different way to do it, because we live in a different kind of world. It might be nice to have an empire, but it's got to get boring, hasn't it? And maybe it's easy for me to talk because I've lost all my stuff so often. But I tell you, it's much easier to be able to just go on a walk, and it's still there. The ideas are still there. And it's those that are the important thing, not the bits and the bytes and the kilobytes and the megabytes and the gigabytes, for pity's sake. You don't even know what's in that stuff.